Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Nassau is the capital, Bahamas. Bimini is the gateway, Bahamas. 1492, Columbus landed. 1973, we were free. From Nassau to Inagua, Bahamas. From Freeport to McWarner, Bahamas. Tourists love our country.
Good morning this morning and welcome back to Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, your station for fresh news, smart talk all day. It is Friday, the 4th of July, 2025, and you are on the clock with Erin, Greene. Let's start the show by reminding everyone today, Friday, the 4th of July, in the 52nd Independence calendar of events is National Pride Day. National Pride Day. Celebrate our heritage by wearing the national colors and exploring Bahamian culture through museums, reading workshops, and conversations with fellow Bahamians to deepen your connection to our history. Cool. Today is also the 4th of July. See, because normally when you hear the 4th of July, you know exactly what that means. It means the 4th of July. What's understood doesn't need to be explained. Why are we having National Pride Day on the 4th of July? I can ask it again and again and again. Given the nature of our relationship with the United States of America. All my cousins, half my cousins American, half my siblings American, half my family American. So goes it for the rest of the Bahamas. Well, not all of us, but many of us. Not just that, our relationship with the United States of America is something, I wanted to say delicious, because look how conch salad evolved on the east coast of America. Something to be savored, because Bahamians added flavor, right? What I hope to see in future years, if we continue this full slate of themes, because it's not events, of themes for independence, and we're going to insist on holding the theming July 4th as National Pride Day, because it could be something else, you know. It could be like Regional Cousins Day. I mean, there's a fancy word for that, like Regional Solidarity Day, because America is in the same region as us, right? It could be a day filled with activities where we explore the rich relationship between the Bahamas and the United States of America. I love to play American Woman and You Belong to Me by Lenny Kravitz on American Independence Day. Why? Because those two songs speak to some of the nuances or beautiful complexities of the relationship between the Bahamas and the U.S. So today, I mean, I see it as a good thing, you know, because I eat Bahamian food and American food today. Why not? But hopefully in the future, the potential of this day by exploring the unique relationship between the Bahamas and the United States of America. I mean, every story is fascinating. From those you think are the most mundane to the most metropolitan, like Tony McKay, right? And the influence of Bahamian music on the globe and on the United States of America. That movie Nope, N-O-P-E, that movie Nope is inspired by the life and wake of Tony McKay. We out there with the Gullah Geechee cousin who teaches at Harvard in the States, the linguist. He said, we out here, right? We out here. The text says, because we want to be American so bad. Okay, see? Our cousin to the north is the United States of America. We are me, you, everybody listening to this radio, if you're in the confines of New Providence, the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, you're born here, you are an American. Because we're in the Americas. Yeah? The question is, even if we desire to highlight the proximity to the United States of America, how come we can't do it in a way that centers what it is that we have contributed to America and how we have made America great? Anyway, I got a guest in studio. I'm very excited to talk with this gentleman today about this project. In my younger days, see, y'all didn't even see me yesterday. Yesterday, I had on my Stevie Gardner 400-meter tracksuit that somebody graciously leave at the Salvation Army for me because it was National Wellness Day, right? Today is National Pride Day, and I'm proud to be talking to a member of the Johnson Road community about the upcoming Johnson Road Basketball Jamboree 2025. See, if y'all know or remember when things was things, Johnson Road was one of the places to be. The Juju Tree Club, from pool to darts to talking foolishness, that was the place to be in New Providence. I grew up as those days were sort of fading away. But they impacted my life, and they've influenced the lives of many people who lived in Johnson Road and those who still have connections to Johnson Road, even though they've moved away. Good morning, Mr. Moss. Introduce yourself to the public and tell us about this basketball jamboree, because I think my foot gonna be healed by then, and I want one of these 3-on-3 half-court teams. I want to be on one of them. Morning, sir.
Good morning, Erin. Good morning, Bahamas. My name is Haviland Moss. I don't live in the Johnson Road community. I don't reside there, but I live there.
Yeah.
We started a basketball tournament probably from the 90s, mid-90s. And after a few years, we just let it slide a bit. But now we started, during the COVID pandemic, we restarted the Jamboree again. And it's really for the youth of the community. So much times in our communities, we see young people picking up guns, doing all kind of nonsense. So the Jamboree is really to bring the community together in a peaceful setting. Mm-hmm. So that's why we started the Jamboree again.
All right. Now, this year's Jamboree is in honor of Greene Humes. Tell us a bit about Greene and why it's so important for this Jamboree to honor him.
Yes. Well, last year we decided, the committees decided to honor somebody every year. Last year it was Calvin Johnson. This year it's
Hold on, you mean Cal?
Yeah, Cal was honored last year.
Okay.
Yes.
I almost had to call Cal uncle, you know. Hey, Uncle Cal.
Well, that's my uncle too, man. You know.
Yeah.
But this year we honoring Greene. We know Greene. He basically started with the JR Nets in Fox Hill. He played basketball for a while. Then he went to Atlantis. He played in the basketball league at the Atlantis. He's retired now. But after his retirement, for many years, he came in a basketball court and played with the youth of the community. So he's interested in that aspect. If you know Greene, you know he has a sweet jump shot. It's not like Steph Curry, but he has a high arcing shot.
Okay.
And for years he was known as a great shooter in our community. But the thing is, he always gave back. See, that's what's important. A lot of times, people in the community, they're from the community, or they, let's say, they excel at a certain point, not by riches. If you at retirement age, that's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
And he's given back. We have persons who have came from Johnson community, persons like Rick Fox. You know Rick Fox.
Listen, let me just say something. I play 4 minutes. I play a couple games with Rick Fox.
Yes.
Of course, easy games in the backyard, right?
Yes.
But did you know Rick Fox's brother, Erin?
Yeah.
You play ball with Erin, right?
Yes.
Erin was better than Rick Fox.
He was good.
No, he was better. Erin was better than Rick Fox and would have, I think, with all fairness, would have become a better professional player than Rick
Fox.
Before he had the tragic accident.
Yes, I remember, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Johnson Road produced some ballers.
Oh.
I bet you don't even remember when I was flying in the sky. 25 years ago.
Well, Erin, we played together in Johnson Road.
That was when I was young and small. But when I was a little bigger,
Well, I have no recollection of you flying, right? But I'm not going to say you're not telling the truth. But we have other players like Shane Taylor. We got, like I said, Greene, Calvin
well,
Johnson.
listen, let's talk about specifically,
Sorry.
the Legends Corner. So on the flyer, I saw that there's one of the functions going to be there, but I don't know what that means. What's going to be happening at or in the Legends Corner?
Well, what we normally do, we would send invites to persons to come out, specific invites. And once they come out, we want them to shoot free throws, maybe talk to the kids for a minute. But we want persons to come out who made a contribution to basketball in our community. So people are going to be invited out, and then we're going to have maybe like a free throw contest or layup contest because
With the Legends?
of course, yes.
Okay, they're gonna be doing free throws and
Yeah,
layups.
'cause, we don't want them because most legends are probably over 60. We can't engage them in basketball physically in a physical game because
Man, listen, I have you have a category here, say 16 and over, right?
Yes, ma'am.
It don't have no limit on the over. You get those legends greased up because I can bring the legend ladies. We can bump them on a 3-on-3 half-court run.
Well, the thing is, even though we have professional first aid technicians on hand, most of those guys in retirement, Erin, so we don't want them to have an Achilles pull off.
You don't want when Granny posterized them. But I appreciate that.
Yes.
Let me tell you why I'm also excited, right? So we got the big news that DeAndre Ayton has been signed by the Lakers, right?
I hate the Lakers, yes.
What you mean? That's why you don't live in Johnson Road no more, sir. Right? If you live in Johnson Road, you only got two choices, right? If you're gonna hate the Lakers, you have to be a Celtics. And if you're gonna hate the Celtics, you got to be a Laker.
Well, I was anti-LA from the 80s, so I know my cousin Felix. He's a LA fan, but I'm anti-LA.
All right, let's go to the phone line quickly and let's see. Caller, why you hang up? I just coming to find out if you're a Lakers or if you're a Celtics. Because when I was growing up in Johnson Road, there's only one of two things you could be.
Correct.
Lakers or Celtics. And I was like, I'd be honest with you, I was like, but this boy right here is my neighbor. He was in the Lakers at that time, but I had a glimpse into a fascinating conversation yesterday, which is why I was excited about the Legends Corner, right? And what it would look like. And I just gonna whisper. The conversation involved Mr. Zhivago Lang, right? The guys, they were teasing each other about their basketball days, but it was a great insight, right? It was a great insight into the local talent. And it caused me to want to have a conversation, which I may begin at the Jamboree, like find the people about the barriers, right? The things that caused you, an excellent player, probably world class, to not pursue an NBA career, right? And one of those stories told is about someone that had the potential to pursue, but didn't, right? And it would be great to find out, because like I said, growing up in 80s, early 90s, these guys were balling. Right. So when a certain time came and they told you, okay, like people, y'all boy them get off the court, we getting ready to run. These guys were serious ball players.
Yes.
And so were you. I remember watching, I could see why you don't remember me dunking, because you was always dunking. Okay, so let's give the dates of the Jamboree and the format.
Okay, it's going to be on August 1st and August 2nd. We start at 7 p.m. each night, and it's going to be a double elimination tournament. Jamboree, sorry. So once you lose 2 games, you're out.
Okay.
It's only for 2 days.
And venue?
Oh, it's going to be in Johnson Road at the rear of the FM headquarters, right in Johnson Road. You can't miss it.
Okay.
We have a new park. Not new, but it was redone last year. So it's in much better condition than it was before.
Right, and if you coming from the north, if you're coming from the Eastern Road into Johnson Road, as you're approaching the constituency office, you'll know you're at the right place when you see the big flag mural on the side of the building, and there's a nice billboard there highlighting 3 student athletes, young athletes emanating from the St. Anne's constituency. So you ain't gonna miss it. August 1st and 2nd, 7 p.m., Johnson Road Basketball Court. Entry deadline.
The entry deadline is July 12th of this month. If you come after that, we're going to charge you a $10 extra fee, because what we've noticed in the past few years, Bahamians be on Bahamian time.
I like to size up the competition before I put my team together, man. But I agree with you.
Yeah.
And you need the funds in advance to be able to provide the best environment.
Of course, because what happens is we want to put all the pools together, all the teams together, and then trophies. These things are expensive.
Yeah.
I must give credit to Mr. Adrian White. He's the area MP. Every year since we've rekindled the Jamboree, he's supported us. We have persons like Big Six.
Okay.
Persons like Mr. Barrington Murphy.
All right.
Corky. Teddy.
Yeah.
Who else? Ingrid.
Midway Bar.
Midway Bar.
Yeah.
This year we have Springer coming on stream. He's going to provide some of the trophies for us. SCO. He sponsors the Baron Ferguson 3-point contest trophy.
Right. Yes. I see that on the list.
Yes.
Okay.
So there's a lot more people. Helping with the community.
Okay. So I gonna need your help, right? Because
Yes.
we gonna have to convince Mama Co's, even if they just have tart for sale.
Yes.
Even
yes.
if you just have tart for sale, Mama Co's, we can bring them on board. And we gonna need you to talk to SCO, right? Because right behind that liquor store is one massive mulberry tree.
Okay.
Right, and I bet you if we could harvest some of them mulberries after this rain, right, we could get somebody to make us some nice mulberry lemonade to sell to patrons or to give to patrons out at the Jamboree Festival. In fact, Johnson Road, if you know the Juju Tree Club, then you know Johnson Road.
Of course.
And you know why they call it the Juju Tree Club? Because there was always fruit growing
Yes.
throughout that community. A walk through the bush is like a stop at the shop.
Yes.
Jude,
Connects.
Juju, Dilly,
Everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
absolutely. And so, these are I would say stalwarts in the community, right? SCO's Liquor Store,
Yes.
Midway Bar, Mama Co's, and
Big Six Autos. Yes.
Big Six Auto. Yeah.
Even like we have I must also acknowledge Derek Clare Mouse.
Okay.
He's a senior person in the community. He helps out. He calls people for us. But Erin, I want to say this. About 13 years ago, I was working with a particular party.
Yeah.
I was working with the DNA in Johnson Road, right? And there's a guy by the name of Ben Albury.
Yeah.
We had a tournament at that time too.
Yeah.
And they were to clean the court up, the basketball courts up, right? And at the time, I think I was unemployed, and I was looking for Ben to say, well, boy, D wants to call clean to get something from my pocket. You know what Ben told me? He said, D, this your court, This is where you live. That opened my eyes up. See, a lot of times you see people in communities, they're looking for the MP or somebody to help them, right? Hey, let's help ourselves.
Yeah.
Because many can help one.
And that's what
Many can help
Johnson Road is known for, right? From our boy Neil Knowles with Four Season Cranes. Anytime there's a storm, these guys, they position themselves so they could clear the road, they could clear the way out for first responders, right? Then we got a boy like Mr. Mins, who was running soccer camps throughout Johnson Road, helped a lot of young men get scholarships.
Yes,
But
yes.
that's the kind of boy, right? That's why I had one character called Captain Might as well, right? And it's based on men's. You know why? Because if he see a limb in the road, he can say, might as well move it ourselves. Why are you waiting
Might
for
as well
the
move it.
for the
Yes,
government?
yes,
And
yes.
that's the type of spirit. Even, our guy Sammy? Short Sammy Wake at Atlantis, man. Sammy is one of the hardest working brothers at Atlantis and in Johnson Road. And then we just lost our good friend Wade.
Oh, yeah, my boy, yes. Oh, yeah.
Wade was
Very, very helpful.
a hard worker. And any woman needed any help in Johnson Road.
True.
Wade was there
Yes.
to assist them, right? And so that's why I excited about the Johnson Road Basketball Jamboree 2025 this year in honor of Graylin Humes. But every year it honors the community.
Yes.
Right? And the community that kept the community
Yes.
alive. And the community that stays. And it's not to say that you can't move and migrate, but we remember that when we move, we leave a vacuum, and the vacuum will be filled by the strongest force. If our culture is strong, then our culture will fill that.
Yes.
And what you find in Johnson Road is, even with the, increase of a migrant population, is still Bahamian culture entrenched in there. Little children of Haitian descent, they in Mamako, and they looking at me. When I come in, they looking at me like, Miss, I hope you ain't coming here to buy all this tart, because I wait all weekend for this tart and this cup.
Yes.
That's Johnson Road.
That's it.
Okay, so let's just quickly run through what are the events and the costs associated to register.
Okay, now we have two divisions, 15 and under. That's a 3-on-3 tournament. It's 4 players max. That's $40 entry fee.
Okay, $10 per player roughly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then we have 16 and over. That's 8 players whole court, and it's $80 each, right? Now, what has happened? We've had a lot of people calling in saying that paying for the shirts and the entry fee is a bit much. So what we're doing this year, we're just gonna charge players. Once they pay their entry fee, then we use that money to get the shirts, right? Now, there's no shirt fee.
Okay.
So we're saying now, persons who want to come on board and sponsor the Jamboree, hey, we're here. No money goes back to any of the organizers. You find at the end of the year, it's always like a minus, because you lose money, because you lose in work time, and then financially, people are giving their own finances.
Yeah.
So we haven't hit the point yet where we can say, okay, we have a sponsor that says, okay, that's a tournament. They sponsor the whole tournament. We haven't reached that stages yet, but we're growing. And we just need the community to come out. Even, hey, listen to me, even you can't give a case of water, come out and help score. We have a couple of first aid things in the area. Come out and do first aid, you know what I mean? So we need people to come out, man. Come out and assist. Volunteerism is still very big in our community, and without that, the community can't exist.
Absolutely. I also want to say, look here, if you just drive through Johnson Road as a throughway, like you don't know nobody in Johnson Road, you don't stop to buy tart, you don't stop to sit on the porch and talk news before you go home by midway, right? If you don't do that, then please consider donating to the Johnson Road Basketball Jamboree 2025, right? Because you have made yourself a part of the community by driving through it every day. And if we members of the community have to accommodate you as you pass through, then we ask that you accommodate us. Just a little support. Go by, look here, stop by Midway, by Sco, by Mamako, put a little money in the envelope and say, look here, there's $3 towards the Jamboree.
Yes.
We could do it.
Yes.
Absolutely. Mr. Moss, thanking you very much.
Yes.
I see you be doubting me, right? But you go ask them on the court by Midway Bar how Erin Greene break her ankle 25 years ago. Yeah, okay.
Okay, before I leave here, I'll say one more thing. Thanks to committee members. We have Arnett Humes, Adrian Russell, Jadian Russell, Calvin Johnson, Denrick Moss, and myself, the Harvard Moss, okay?
Okay, contact information?
823-6772. Or if you call Erin, she can give you the other contacts, okay?
All right, or stop into the constituency office in
Yes.
Johnson Road for more details.
Yes, get the application form, get a flyer. Everything is basically online, all right?
Thanking you, Mr.
Thank you.
Moss. You guys have a great day. We go into a break. During the break, believe me, I gonna rib Mr. Moss about how he joking, and if he play around, I gonna dunk on him again at the Jamboree. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Wait, you know what going down tomorrow?
Nobody, what happening?
Joe bringing these knives to school. He could do Junior in.
For what?
Wait, he fooled with Joe girl.
Mother sick. And you know, John, you don't back down for nothing. So that means you got a big fight tomorrow.
So whose side you on?
Side? I trying to stay in school, not Simpson Pen. We gotta tell somebody about this fight.
Tell somebody. I ain't no snitch. I mean cool, you know.
Wait, if you so cool, then you need to stay in school and stay out of the fight.
Yeah, but if I don't hang on Joe's side, him and he boys coming for me next.
All right, so we definitely gotta tell somebody. We gotta prevent the fight.
What I say, I don't want nobody call me snitch.
We could just call Crime Stoppers. You could report what you know, and nobody gotta know it's you.
So how did I boy?
All you gotta do is call them or you text them through the Crack Crime Bahamas app, and nobody can know it's you.
Then the police come looking for me for more info? And when they finish with them, Joe them coming looking for me?
When you call Crime Stoppers, the call go directly to Miami, and they don't ask nothing about you. Then you can get the pen from them, and you can claim a reward later using that same pen.
Plus, everything's scrambled, so nobody can read what you saying.
Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands.
At Cleveland Clinic, care is everything. So when your primary purpose is to care for the world, you'd start with your community until you're accessible anywhere. You make complexities your specialties and put compassion before anything else, all to redefine what's possible. For everyone, everywhere. For every care in the world. Cleveland Clinic.
Love the show? Want to give your support? Become a sponsor today. Call 302-2300 for our rates and packages. That's 302-2300. Become a sponsor on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
In these very difficult times when crime is on the increase, you don't need to waste money on imitation security. Get the best at Wemco Security, the company you keep. Don't delay. Call today or visit their office at 32 Collins Avenue across from Columbus Primary School.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Good morning and welcome back to On the Clock with Erin Greene. It's Friday the 4th of July. It's National Pride Day. It's also the 4th of July, which means it's U.S. Independence Day. And I just wanted to tell you all, if you ever wanted to know why your Grammy have that attitude, like, you know, the sun shines every step that she makes, that's because she was alive and rocking during the time of that song, Bahama Rock. You hear that? You hear that? Imagine that song in that's the 70s, eh? Mm-hmm. That song coming out in the 70s, and you are a black person living in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas as it is beginning this journey, or on this journey to independence, beginning the journey of independence. And you in a nightclub that the world heralds as one of the most popular nightclubs, right? And you dancing to that song. What a time to be alive. This is also a time to be alive. To talking quickly what's in the news. First of all, DeAndre Ayton has signed to the Lakers 2-year deal. Wow. Well, let's see if DeAndre could pick up the pace and pick up the steam. One thing I will say about DeAndre, I read this glowing statement about him. It says, multiple teams reached out to Blazers general manager Joe Cronin to conduct background on Ayton and received strong reviews surrounding Ayton's leadership and mentoring of big men such as Donovan. With all of our concern that DeAndre doesn't have the fire it takes, not just to be successful in the league, but to remain in the league, I think that's a glowing report. And that makes me feel good about his future in the NBA. And we just hope that he can have more success with the Los Angeles Lakers. Also, VJ is playing his first game of the NBA Summer League on Independence Day at 10 p.m. Let's see, I got this little Summer League game schedule. I can't even see it. Okay, there we go. 10 p.m. ESPN. They are playing. Who that logo is now? Is that the Bucks? Anyway, there should be a good game, should be a good game. Mr. New,
This morning. How are you doing today on this rainy morning?
are you doing horrible? No, I good. I mean, I didn't slip. Why is it that Bahamian cars stop working when it rains?
That's how everything in this life has a spirit.
Yeah?
So the spirit of the car.
Car have a spirit of don't let me get wet?
Yeah. So the spirit of the car said, watch. I get it this time.
I mean, I had the most ridiculous work this morning, and I could just imagine the person and me driving, of course, in front of me saying, y'all think I can speed up? I on my phone, I can drive safely. I using my phone. Y'all want speed up and people, but I on my phone and I can drive safely. And I could imagine that's what they were saying.
If they're going to use their phone when it's raining, I hope that they drive slowly.
If they're going to use their phone when it's raining, I hope that both their phone and their car die at the same time in the same place, so as to sit on the road. It sounds harsh, doesn't it? But I think it's better than you using your phone and your car at the same time, and you hit somebody and either your phone and your car die than a human die. There's something terribly wrong with the idea that people who live in a hurricane zone feel or lack the confidence to drive in 1 or 2 inches of water. It's extremely troubling, and I'm very concerned about it. I'm also concerned, Mr. Nuri, yesterday I was at a road traffic station, one of their stations, right? Do you know how many people I saw driving through that compound with no seatbelt on, with their cell phone in their hand? Some of them were on calls, just having a good time. I was just like, but you add road traffic. You at the place where you're supposed to get the license that say you have enough sense, or that you've proven that you have enough sense in the moment to drive a vehicle. It was quite depressing. I wanted to post it because there's also a data desert on Harold Road at road traffic compound. I can imagine it's very problematic because that's a space in which you may need to contact people. Like you get there, you don't have all the paperwork, you may need to call your insurance, right? You may need to message your insurance agent. They have a nice little WhatsApp channel you could use where they could send documents, right? Screenshots of documents for you that you need in this. And there's a data desert right there. There are lots of data deserts, and not, you see, because if you thought that word was deserts, then you would be wondering, why am I complaining? I like free things, I like data, right? But no, it's a desert. That means that no data exists there where data should exist. So on my ride to work this morning, I realized that there was no data, like the network, BTC network was down in the Blair area. And as I rode from Village Road to Nassau Street, to Blue Hill Road and then down Poinciana Drive to Nassau Street, there was no network access there either. And I wondered, okay, is it due to the storm? Because, you know, when it rains a little bit, the cars stop working, the police stop working, the lights stop working. Maybe the phone stopped working as well. So I thought maybe that was it. But then I remembered, no, for the last several weeks, and in some instances for months now, listeners have been stopping me in the public and asking me if I'm going to talk about Batelco, telephone service, if I'm going to talk about the telecommunications issues. And I've been trying to carve out a space to talk about it. I would tell you I am looking to find or identify and bring on the show staff from BTC or, you know, to talk about some of these issues. I would like to tell you that, but why would I lie to you? I'm not going to lie to you. I have the same amount of difficulty y'all have contacting and communicating with people who could resolve issues that have the same issues y'all are having. But let me tell you all some listeners have sent to me and tell me about. Okay, there are users who are saying, while in my home using my Wi-Fi network, I find that my data is depleting faster than it should be, right? Some phones have this thing called Wi-Fi Assist, where it will use your data to strengthen your service, right? Because the Wi-Fi, your internal signal or network is weak. And so it pulls from data. and you have to turn that off, right, to save your data. But the phone I got from BTC, nobody could find that option. Nobody could. In the last couple of weeks, I have been depleting data plans of 3.5 gigs in less than 2 weeks with my primary use of my phone at home on a Wi-Fi network. It's been one of the largest complaints from listeners that they don't understand what's going on with their data package and why it is being depleted so quickly. Right? Producer, let's go to the phone line. Hopefully this is someone from Batelco or someone from IRCA saying, Ms. Greene, you don't have to share these complaints on air. We'd be more than willing to come on air or have a message, a conversation with you in private so that we could plan a public conversation. Good morning, caller.
Yes, good morning, Ms. Greene.
Morning,
good morning,
sir.
Mr. Neary. You know, this is a timely subject. I'm on my way to BTC now. I almost got locked up in there the other day. You know, I have young children, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so with the Wi-Fi, they're connected to the internet, so when it goes down, it goes crazy, and it sends me crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been buying plans to put on the phone, them to use, but my brother has a Wi-Fi, and from Alive now, he didn't even wait on them to repair. But what I'm saying is, a telecommunications company should be able to with its customers. They should have studied the art of communications. You cannot contact the technicians. The internet service phone line is down. I know somebody told me Alive have a text system where you text and they come in, et cetera, et cetera. They're superior to them, but I don't know what's going on. But from they changed the modem and the router, I've only enjoyed about a week and a half of Wi-Fi, and so I paid them for 2 months for basically 1.5 weeks. So, and I don't know if IRCA, who's going to step in, but this is ridiculous for me now. So I'm getting ready to disconnect. I believe that secretly somebody in Batelco is sabotaging Batelco to do this. They're actually intentionally doing this because they're driving people alive. But it's unacceptable for me. I just, Ms. Greene, is how could they? I go in there. I don't even. They can't. It doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Paying them, and it's like ridiculous. I haven't had a week of Wi-Fi from 2 months that they put in this new infrastructure. So what's the point? I'm very vexed. You know, I did some cuss. Listen, man, it's ridiculous. And the thing is,
let me show you something. I just want to let people know why it is. If you don't understand why people get so upset, I waited 1.5 years, right?
What?
Listen, after engaging the service provider, right, and going to IRCA, I waited in total 1.5 years to get a meeting in IRCA's office with BTC representatives. And the first thing the person said to me is, so what we here to talk about? As if they had not prepared themselves for the meeting. The fourth thing they said to me was that I was stupid because I didn't know that I didn't have fiber service. And this time I'd been paying for fiber service for almost 1.5 years. So when people say, but look here, I almost get locked up in there, right? The first thing people jump to is because you were the outrageous one. And you were the one who's carry on like a junglist and you don't have any manners and don't know how to do things properly. But when you realize, like C. Allen say, we 25 years into the 21st century, and you guys have implemented a new automated voice system, right? All the AI, the things don't work. Let's go to caller just very quickly. Good morning, call.
Good morning, Erin.
Morning, how you do? Good, thank you.
Yeah, I have to follow up on my school with you because last night I talking to my friend. She tells me in Garden Hills for free, but because she take her phone and carry it there because she ain't had no service for phone from last year. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Been a customer for 46 years. I say, you idiot. She say, yeah, I can't, and tell him keep that. Now I get into her life. So, so she going to try and get a phone from my evening. Now, I just made a comment and you said we in the century.
Mm-hmm.
I got a question about that. When did the 20th century start?
Which started on
January 1st?
2000. It starts on 2001.
On 2000.
Yeah, like 2000, end of the 8th century.
Okay, so on January 1st, 2000.
Yeah.
That's into the.
So 2001 start the 21st century.
2001 started the 21st century.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. All right.
You don't count to zero. You start with the 1. You don't count to 0. Were you 1 when you were born, or when were you 1?
I'm, Piente is 20
Okay.
in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
So 20-something start at 20, 22, 23. You right?
I don't know.
Okay.
You know the way my paycheck set up, I don't get to count that high. I don't get that type of practice. You're jealousing me out here. Thank you very much, caller. We're going to get that math straight. Let's go to the text line quickly. Good morning, Miss Greene. These phone companies have everyone fooled. Also, the citizens are so mean. If everyone opens their home Wi-Fi, you will not need data in this country because everywhere you go, you'll be connected. See, the problem with that is a security problem. I mean, right? I appreciate the sentiment. But there's all kinds of security concerns, especially with all of the new technology, the internet, home security, the cameras. But how is that free Wi-Fi in the park and on the buses going? How's that project going? We're going to a break. When we get back from the break, we're going to read some texts. Lots of texts. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
You try to rest, but with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers. For window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Abaco, get rid of my beer and Lincoln. Royalty Sounds presents Found Fast. Found Fast. Saturday, July 5th, Morris Harbor, Abaco. At the Royal Recreational Ground. Gates open 5 p.m., $20 entry. Ladies free before 8 p.m. With Nassau and Abaco's hottest DJ. Don't miss the beer drinkers versus rum drinkers competition. Can rum for me. Found Fast, July 5th, Abaco. Sponsored by Collect, the beer of the hall responsibly.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news all day.
I was born on T-Bacon Island. Some people work hard all week, but come Friday and Saturday, they go down to the old schoolhouse and dance to the Rickens Squid Band. I want you to meet some of them right now. My Gertie, old lady, old woman, come here, gal. Go on the dresser, get that old comb, put on a piece of wax paper and blow it. Beep, 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 beep. Sheep! Sheep Smith! Shit, get that old saw which is cut up wood with.
Producer, why would you play something in front of such excitable people and not expect excitement? One of my favorite Bahamian songs. And I hope next year when we are theming out the Independence Week of events, we have a day of culture. We also proclaim that day will be 100th Bahamian Music Day. That's why you can't do it on the 4th of July. God, we can celebrate with our cousins. We do it on the 4th of July. We can't do that. We got to have a day, a culture day or a day of music. It's just 1,000% Bahamian on our local airwaves. 4th of July today, National Pride Day. Tomorrow, Saturday, the 5th of July, is National Culture Day. Mr. Nuri, what you doing? What you doing on Saturday?
Looking for culture.
Will you talk about it in the next hour?
Yeah, if you want. But we're looking for culture.
Okay, where are you looking?
I don't know where to look.
I know where to look.
Where to look?
Under the water.
For culture?
Everything covered by water right now.
Mermaids under the water.
That's culture.
Yeah.
That's culture.
Yeah, that's
our culture.
Yeah, that's the Marine Kingdom.
No, that's not our culture. Let's go to the phone line before I have to tell you the Chichani origin story. Good morning, caller.
Hey, morning, Miss Greene. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How you do?
You ready for the holiday Thursday?
What you mean holiday? It's holiday today, eh?
No, next Thursday, July 10th.
Okay, yeah, I'm ready for that.
You bring your 6 slip, or you coming to work 1 o'clock and then leaving for the rest of the day.
But listen,
that's what everyone doing that Thursday.
If I come here on Thursday, the 10th, and the door is locked, I going back home.
Anyone on the job, if they go to lunch at 1 o'clock, you know they ain't come back for the rest of the day.
All right, but hold on. The Independence Day is a Thursday, right?
Yeah, so Wednesday. So that's what I mean. They have early Wednesday.
On the 9th. Yeah.
On the 9th, right.
Yeah.
So we call it pre-Independence Day.
Yeah, because how I can show you I free. The best way to show you I free is I ain't going to work.
No, you can't go to work Thursday or no Wednesday, or you can go. Friday. What about Friday? You think people who party because you know you're missing Wednesday?
Mm-hmm.
No work Thursday. What about Friday?
Oh boy, I hope people put in their notice for vacation early.
But you know Friday is normally payday. So you can't miss payday.
If you don't, but I don't like this direct deposit foolishness. Because if you're working for me and you don't come to work on payday, you didn't want to get paid. That makes sense to me.
But enjoy. Make sure you enjoy your holiday and don't drink and drive.
No, listen, I trying to do the don't drink at all. Of course, it's some locally made brew, like some Barilla or some Amaro, 2 of our local Cascarilla-based drinks. Thank you.
We make sure to tell the people don't drink and drive.
Listen, without a doubt, they're young people. Now is the time. Get your flyers out there. Let people know. You got, what they call it, Uber style. We just need designated drivers. We need to keep people safe on the Bahamian roads. Okay, so let's go through the text line quickly. I had the same problem with the live. I went there last week and the line was out the door with everyone having the same problem. They must not have the right smart engineer to solve the problems, and they are not giving back the lost data. It is thievery that they are doing. Texas say, isn't Uber illegal? That's why I said Uber style. Also, Texter, when you asked me, did I call the guy short, right? And you said, what if someone referred to a woman as fat? I think we should be more responsible in our descriptions of people. Dear Texter, let me remind you that there's a difference between fat and short, right? They are descriptors, but they're not describing the same types of things, right? So let's talk about it briefly. A person's height is something that they can't change without an invasive surgery where they add bone to their legs, right? So when we talk about somebody's height, we're not talking about it in a derogatory way because it is just who they are and there's nothing that they could do to change it. Now, calling somebody fat, right? People could change how they look. That is shaming. But to call somebody short, just describing them. And trust me when I tell you, as soon as I said it, I knew who I was talking about. Because that's how the guy is known in the community. Also, he's known as the hardest working member of staff at Atlantis. So calling him short is not respecting him. But conflating the two surely is. As a text, I just see the police... I can't, thank you. I know I can't read that out loud. Somebody say, everyone open their home Wi-Fi. That's a no-no. Tell the person who suggested that to hand in their phone. I think they just didn't understand. No, I don't think it was a man who was offended trying to, I don't know what you call that, but the person they were trying to shame is me. BTC and the live system suck. It's a cross between stealing and poor service. Do you know? A live app has been down for months, and the live is closing stores. Listen, what I do know is nothing because nobody tells us anything about the lack of service that we're receiving from these entities. What I do know is the new automated system doesn't work. There are data deserts all over New Providence. Home internet users claiming that their data is being driven down while they're at home using the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi is not working properly. People are not satisfied at all, and nobody is saying anything. I almost want to call it like a corporate warfare, right? Where they put in place policies and measures that prevent their staff from being helpful, right? Anyway, I just want to say one more thing before we go, because this seems to be seeping into Bahamian culture. If you work in a department in your company where you field complaints, technical, see, Brendan says they have a technical issue, that's not a complaint. They're highlighting that they have a technical issue. So you take down the technical issue without taking up an attitude about it. please and thank you. If you think you're annoyed with people calling in saying their service is not working, how you think the people who are paying for service feel? Let's not let this thing continue to seep in. Okay? But you guys stay tuned. Guardian Radio AM with C.A. Nuri, and say a special good morning to my producer today, because I tell her, just play some Bahamian music you like, and I like everything she like. It's going to be a good day. Stay tuned. Guardian Radio 96.9 FM.